Kevin, follow my lead.
All right.
Hello, welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and we got an absolutely fantastic show. I tell you, before we just hit the radio up, wherever you're watching this show or whether you're viewing it, you know you can always call into the show at 1-888-344-1170, or you can go to whatever mechanism that you're watching this on, whether it's StreamYard, whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's Facebook, whether it's YouTube, whether whatever that might be. We just ask you that if you want to be part of it, just reach out there and love us, because we're going to love you. And we got this absolutely fantastic guest. We got Dr. Saprina Allison on the show today. So I tell you what, get ready. Kevin, let's do it.
James J.C. Cooley.
Life is a series of circles and cycles, phases and stages. These are your experiences that teach you the lessons of life. You can either ignore them or embrace them. Welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. James is a motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the James Cooley Foundation. James is here to equip you to strive for greatness and to overcome adversity. It's time to get equipped today for the challenges of tomorrow. Now, here's the host of It's Your Life, James Cooley.
Hello, welcome to It's Your Life. I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and you know, it's been many times that we had to defy the odds of whatever situation or circumstances that might be. And I got a guest on the show today that has been a part of that, and a lot of times in our life, people tell us what we can't do, or we tell them that we can't do this. I'm a strong believer and proponent is don't tell me what you can't do. Tell me what you can do. Tell me what you can do. Because you're always going to have naysayers out there. And you're always going to fall in situations and circumstances where sometimes I believe we question ourselves. But once you get that foundation and once you get that I can do attitude, regardless of what comes your way, whether it's an illness, whether it's a tragedy, whether it's whatever that might be, you have to think positive. And sometimes you have to defy the odds, especially from a medical perspective, when they tell you that, well, you know, you experiencing this and you can't do this, and I don't know, I don't have anything else to tell you. As long as you believe in yourself, as long as you believe in the higher power, as long as you believe and have the right attitude, you tell them, I got this. I got this. Just give me an opportunity. And that lead to my guest, Dr. Saprina, Allison. You know, one of my classmates, one of my doctoral classmates got an opportunity to know this young lady and also get a better understanding of where she's coming from. And this woman is so talented. She do so many things. And you know what? We're going to discover some of these things during the show today. And we also going to discover some of the talents that she has. And not just that, but the attitude, having the right attitude when you are faced with challenges. So I am looking forward to having this young lady on the show. And we're going to talk about defying the odds. Defying the odds. When everybody will tell you that you can't do this, long as you don't believe that, you give everything that you have in your system, your body, your mind, and you say, well, we'll see about that. I'm going out fighting whatever that is. I'm gonna keep, we call it from Chattanooga, Tennessee, putting up your dukes. Oh, I'm not just gonna sit back and just take it like that. So what we're going to talk about today with Dr. Saprina Allen is getting to know her as a nurse, speaker, mentor, author, poet, radio host, and just like I said, classmate, my friend. We're going to get a chance to know her. We're also going to discuss and learn about her diagnosis of Chiari. Now, I don't know a whole lot about that, but she's going to tell us what that is and and what it entails and the fight that she is having. We're also going to discuss defying the odds and not living with a label or statistic or stigma that placed on you that you have to believe in yourself. People are going to label you. They're going to put a statistic on you. They're going to do whatever they have to do. And we're going to talk about her role as an internet radio host and author. I mean, I'm just telling you, as you can see, I'm excited. I'm excited about this already. Let me tell you a little bit about her. Dr. Saprina Allison. It's like she was born to defy the odds. She's a nurse. She started her career in Baltimore City. I think she lives in Portsmouth, Virginia right now. She's going to tell us a little bit about that. But she had this thing in her called guts and grime, where you're going to do what you have to do to make it. And she's always known to be a fierce fighter, regardless of what the situation or circumstances is. You know, but after 20 years of serving, being a nurse, and just taking care of people, she became a patient herself. And to many of us, that's always a challenge. But she intentionally said, I will not be labeled. I will not let people define who I am and tell me what I can't do. You know, so sometimes we have to do that. And this young lady right here is the epitome of boom, I can do it. I can, I will. Without any further ado, let's bring to the stage Dr. Saprina Allison, my friend, how you doing?
Well, Dr. JC, you sure make me feel like somebody now. I don't have no money to pay you for that introduction. But if it was ever anybody I wanted to introduce me, you got the job. You got the job. Thank you so much.
Well, it's all true. Come on. Even the week and 2 weeks that I have known you and just chatted with you, I mean, you kind of develop that. You kind of develop of what a person is about. At least I do. So and you all that, a bag of chip, tuna fish sandwich, everything. Everything in the one bag.
So you gonna make me pay you for that one, huh?
Hey, Dr. Allison, can you tell our viewers, our listeners, where you grew up and what you love about your community?
Well, I grew up in the heart of Baltimore City. I grew up in Northwest Baltimore City, in an area called Pimlico, in the zip code called 21215, where right now is one of the most dangerous zip codes in the city. But I grew up as in a neighborhood full of kids, full of love, and no child was just anybody's child. We truly had a village when I was growing up. I had family, I had extended family. And the one thing that I love about my community then, as well as what I love about my community now, when needed, we will get together and do whatever it is that we need to do.
Wow. You was raised by a single parent who became a respiratory therapist.
Mm-hmm.
What quality about your mother you admire growing up when it came to facing challenges? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, she was a single parent for a little while. But I did have, like I said, I did have extended family. She did meet my stepdad when I was 3, but I still had family involvement from my biological father's family. So, like I said, I had I had all of my family, but my mother was a teen parent. And what I loved the most about her was her tenacity to make it. I remember as early as 4 years old, she looked at me in my face and she said to me, "Don't ever, ever go on welfare. Always work hard. Do whatever it is that you have to do." And that's the one thing that I loved about her. I remember as a child, my mother worked 3 jobs to make sure that she, as well as myself, made it. And that's something that right now, that's the things that I pull from all the time. Most people will look at TV and say someone that they admire. When I think about my life, period, I may not have the perfect life, but I honestly and truly can say that I don't envy anyone or want to meet anyone in particular, because God has truly blessed me with a circle and a tribe that I can look at women in my life that pour into me and help me become the person that I am today. Most people want to meet the Oprahs, the Michelle Obamas, the Iyanla Van Zants. But when you have the women that surround you, that I have in my family, absolutely positively amazing. If you saw my Facebook the other day, my Nana is 86 years old.
86. Hold that thought. We got to take a station break. Hold that thought, because when we come back, we're going to talk about who inspired you to get into the nursing field and being the person that you are today. I tell you what, if you want to be part of this great conversation, that's 1-888-344-1170, or you can go to the comments on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, and comment. It's your life. I'm Dr. James Cooley. We'll be back shortly after the break.
There's more stories of greatness to help you overcome adversity coming up on It's Your Life with James Cooley.
Noah Dingley here, producer of The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. Version of James' book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, is a must-have. James shares his true life story of struggle and success in America.
Hello. Hey, I'm James Cooley. I am the founder and CEO of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, Options, Opportunities, / Choice Program. Our primary mission is to help build a foundation of our youth and young adults and communities. And we encourage everyone to dream big, think big, and be big at everything you do. And the way that you do that is, first of all, you got to believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. You have to know that you are here for a purpose. You also have to be able to step out your comfort zone and do things that you probably didn't think that you can do.
Dr. J.C. Cooley. Yeah. The James Cooley Show. It's your life. Come on.
Noah Dingley here, producer of The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And the new audio version of James' book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, is a must-have. James shares his true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. Get the new audio version of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James Cooley on Amazon.com or wherever audiobooks are sold.
Copy of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James J.C. Cooley, available on Amazon and everywhere books are sold.
FM 96.1
North County,
AM 1170
San Diego, The Answer.
It's time to dream big, think big, and be big. It's time for more It's Your Life. Now here's your host, James Cooley.
Hello, welcome back to It's Your Life. I'm James Cooley, and I tell you, we're talking about Defying the Odds, and we got Dr. Saprina, Allison here, that are telling her story and telling us how sometimes things change in our life, and people tell us that we cannot do this, cannot do that. But if we listen to all that noise, we cannot do this, and we cannot do that. So you have to go with what's in your heart and what you believe in, and you can do anything that you set your mind to. And so I tell you, if you want to be part of this great conversation with Dr. Saprina Allison, you can call in to radio station at 1-888-344-1170, or you can go on the different mechanism that you're watching this or listening to it on, and you can put in the comments section. You can ask her a question. You can ask me a question. You can ask my producers a question. But we're going to get you the answer, and she's going to get you the answer. So looking forward to you joining us in this. Dr. Allison.
Yes, sir.
So you was telling us, telling our viewers and our listeners about your mother and how your extended family inspired you and probably kind of kept you in line a little bit on certain things that you might have been doing. Let's talk about this nursing field.
Yes.
Now, your mom was a respiratory therapist.
Yes.
Who inspired you to get into the nursing field? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. Okay, so again, like I said, if you looked at my Facebook page, you saw me visit my Nana the other day. And my mother, both her grandmothers, paternal and maternal, her mother and father's mother's names were Ruth. So I was raised by my entire family. My grandfather had his older sister, well, next to oldest sister. Her name is Gwendolyn Smith. And I used to watch my Aunt Gwen every day. She didn't know this until my great grandmother was passing away. and we had her home at hospice. And I told her how I used to watch her walk down the street every day from work. And she would have on her white uniform with her nurse's cap. And I thought she was the prettiest person I had ever seen in my life. And I used to just be in awe of her. And I said, wow. And I remember the day I was 4 years old, sitting on my great grandmother's porch in Baltimore. I prayed and I asked God, could I become a nurse? Well, fast forward until I was 16 at Maryland General Hospital. I got a scholarship from the state of Maryland, and I was trained to be a nursing assistant. Well, one of the nurses at the hospital, I still talk to her today. Her name is Elise Midright, and her name was Elise Beckett then. And she took me under her wing. And I remember her looking at me and she said to me, listen, baby, you got to know what you need to know. Ain't nobody, you're not better than nobody, but nobody is better than you. And I will make sure you know what you need to know. And I tell you, the foundation that was given to me to work in an urban hospital, a teaching hospital, the underserved population, I would not trade it for the world, because I met some of the best people, some of the best teachers and mentors. I have another girlfriend of mine named Dorian Butler, who is now a nurse practitioner, absolutely positively dynamic neuro nurse practitioner. So I have a lot of friends, Tanya Nichols, that pour into me a lot, that I'm surrounded by women in medicine and otherwise that really pour into me and make sure that I get to where I need to go.
Wow. So you served in the nursing career for 20 years. And then you became a patient when you were used to taking care of people.
Yes.
And I think that malformation is called Chiari.
Yes.
First of all, can you tell our viewers and listeners what is Chiari? And can you just explain to them how does that affect you when most figure that you're going to struggle or you're going to push back or just like turn your head and you saying, no, that ain't going to happen. Can you talk to us about that?
So believe it or not, Chiari Malformation, it is a neurological disorder, and it's not, 1 in 1,000 have it. Now, it does not get the attention that it should get, and probably more people have it than diagnosed. But I will say this, it's one of those disorders that when I went to school, it's about this much information in the nursing book. That it is talked about, but not really. It's down in the corner, you flip the page, and then after that, you don't hear too much about it. So things like strokes and other neurological disorders, multiple sclerosis, things like that, it's talked about more than Chiari malformation. So you actually have 2 holes in the back of your skull. And with Chiari malformation, your brain is actually protruding through those 2 holes in your skull in the back of your brain. And it can cause all types of anything that you can think of. And it comes at will. And when I think about it, I had all of the basic symptoms all of my life, but they masked themselves so well. Once I was medicated with pain medication or got new glasses or just did something different, the symptoms would go away. So when I was diagnosed and when it happened, I remember going to one of the nurses at work, and she said to me, Saprina, what are you doing with that? She said, most times kids have that. So I called one of my good girlfriends, Kenyatta Johnson, on my way home. And I said, well, guess what I got? And I told her, and she said, oh, okay. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, what is that? I had never heard of it or remembered it, because when the doctor's office actually called me and said, the nurse said, well, the doctor wanted to talk to me about my Chiari. I said, and this was my honest answer. I said, oh no, I don't have a Chiari. I have 2 sons. I don't have a daughter. I don't have a little girl. I I had no idea. I at that time it just did not dawn on me exactly what she was saying. The nurse on the other end of the phone, she laughed, and I made a doctor's appointment, and I went from there and
Wow.
actually found out everything I couldn't do.
So when you actually were diagnosed, so you was a grown up,
Mm-hmm.
and that had to be shocking. I already know that. But how did you come to terms of saying, okay, and my friend and the doctors, and now I understand what this means. How did you come to accept that whatever it requires, that you was not going to be defied by whatever this disease were?
I had been sick for quite some time and trying to have balance and figure out exactly what was wrong. We still didn't know what was wrong. I ended up having to advocate for myself to figure out what was wrong, because even after a year of medication and having horrible, horrible headaches, even still, I asked for an MRI, and that's how I found out, because my doctor at the time wanted to do a sleep study, and I told her no. I was requesting an MRI. After that, I did for a little while. I didn't feel my best. I didn't understand it. Of course, having a strong tribe, people always poured into me, and it doesn't matter what's going on around you. When the quiet of night comes, that's when things are the loudest. That's when things are the loudest. And when I tell you, if you don't have that relationship with God rock solid, if you don't have a praying partner that will cover you, you will sink. Because I did not hear or see a lot of people that was diagnosed with the disorder that were very positive. So I had to pull on the people around me that were positive, that allowed me to have my moment, but then said, okay, what's next? And when I gained my strength and I advocated for me and taught them, then everyone else was on board.
Wow. You mentioned that there are no 2 people or
No,
2 persons diagnosed have the same symptoms
no.
or of that disease. Can you explain that a little bit more?
Well, there are classic symptoms of Chiari malformation. And unfortunately, a lot of times when patients show up with Chiari, they're often told that it's in their head. Well, yeah, it is. It's in their head, but it's really something wrong. And some of the symptoms that we could have the same symptoms where it may affect my hands, but it would affect your feet. So I can understand that it's not textbook, and everything that may be written in the textbook as to how it may go and treatment may work for the last person, it just may not work for me. So nothing about this disorder is textbook. And oftentimes, even as a nurse, I tell people, or I tell practitioners, do not ever tell a patient what they're feeling or give them their symptoms. Learn to listen to what they're telling you, not what you want to hear. Because oftentimes we are told what we're feeling, not what's going on with us.
Wow. We're going to take a station break, but I can't wait to get back after the break to continue to talk about this great topic. If you want to be part of the conversation, call in 1-888-344-1170, or you can go to whatever you're listening to or watching on the social media platform and just ask this young lady a question. We'll be back shortly after the break. It's your life. I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley.
There's more stories of greatness. The J.C. Cooley Foundation is a nonprofit organization that was started in October of 2014. The J.C. Cooley Foundation continues to strive to expand its programs and offerings to the youth, young adults, and citizens of our great communities nationwide and overseas. We hope that you'll be able to take part in one or more of the many exciting events that we're offering this year and experience firsthand the pride we take in supporting our cause. It's our mission to equip the youth of today for the challenges of tomorrow, and we rely heavily on the generosity of individuals and business owners for support. Without the assistance of community-minded individuals just like you, we wouldn't be able to serve our youth each year. We ask that you make a commitment to support our annual appeal by making a cash donation. This year's goal is $50,000. Your generosity will assist us in making a difference in the lives of the youth in our community. You can give online at CooleyFoundation.org. Remember that every donation makes a difference regardless of size. The J.C.
Listen up! It's Dr. James J.C. Cooley. Yeah! It's the James Cooley Show! It's your life! Hey!
Of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James Cooley on Amazon.com or wherever audiobooks are sold.
The Answer San Diego, streaming now on iHeart.com and Odyssey.com.
It's time to dream big, think big, and be big. It's time for more It's Your Life. Now, here's your host, James Cooley.
Hello, welcome back to It's Your Life. I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and I got my absolutely fantastic guest here that is explaining to us about this a disease called Chiari. And, it's, as she mentioned, it may affect two people in a different type of way, but you have to have a support group, and you have to believe that you can overcome anything, and you have to stay strong and positive. So I tell you, if you want to be part of this great conversation, all you have to do is call in at 1-888-344-1170 or go to whichever mechanism, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, and just express what you're thinking, and also ask this young lady a question. So, Dr. Saprina.
Yes, sir.
So a lot of things that you're doing. First of all, I want to change the mood just a little bit because you do so many great things. And we're going to come back to this one. But you're a poet. I love poetry.
Okay.
And I'm hoping that you got something that you're going to share with us.
Oh,
Without
I'm
this.
always ready. I'm always ready.
So give me a sweet, uplifting poem or poetry.
Okay. So this is actually one of my favorite poems, because it is a poem of encouragement for African American women. And this one is actually called Black Girl Evolved. And I actually absolutely love this poem. And it says, from the slave ship to any career you could think of, I have evolved. Since I arrived here, every problem you've had, I've solved. These thick thighs and wide hips are for a reason. It was for putting something more than good in your pots, for seasoning. Never wanting to be seen near me in the daylight, looking like an octopus, beating down my cabin door at night. Couldn't even tend to my own chilling in Maine. Had to breastfeed your babies and whatever else you had planned. Watching you sell off all of my friends and family members? You taught me more than I ever care to remember. But thank you for teaching me time management skills. I learned that avoiding that whip picking cotton in your fields. Prepping them new gals for your annual show taught me business operations and how to be a CEO. All I needed was a small chance to see who I could be. It was a wrap when the Emancipation Proclamation was written in 1863. Having an opportunity to receive a formal education, it was my mind and womb that shaped this very nation. You see, your plan was to bring me here, and I never evolved. You should have checked my references first. I helped build them pyramids that's still standing in Egypt. I got that black girl magic. Baby, I love to problem solve. I'm a black girl, and I'll continue to evolve. I'm unboxable and refuse to lose.
I love it.
Thank you.
I love it.
Thank
You know I'm going to hit you up for at least one more before this interview is over.
Okay.
So, but you're an advocate and
Yes.
you do a lot of speaking engagements. Can you tell our viewers and our listeners what you advocate for, and what are you available for if they want to bring you in to speak, wherever that's at in the United States or around the world?
Absolutely. Well, I focus on those that suffer with chronic illnesses and invisible pain. And what I do is I teach them to work past their no, because we are often taught that's all we can do is no. And that's all you ever hear when you are diagnosed with something chronic. No, you can't. No, you shouldn't. This is why you should not or cannot. So instead of listening to why you cannot, I show people how they can. Because what I was determined to do was live life and not a label. Because what my mother always told me as a child growing up, she said, well, you know, if it's a bear in the woods, they better call for help for that bear. You better come out. So I just added my own twist to it. So I said, if there's a bear in the woods, I'm going to be the one that come out full belly, fur coat, and I'm going to be leading the pack when I come out. Because I'm determined when I leave, whatever assignment God has for me, I'm going to be empty when I go.
Wow, we got one of our great friends, one of our classmates, Dr. Sunshine.
Hey, Dr. Sunshine.
Dr. Sunshine, and he's coming all the way from Africa. With it, he's listening. How you doing, brother? Hey, absolute pleasure chatting with you a couple of days ago. We're gonna do some things together, so Dr. Sunshine, and thanks so much, Saprina, for mentioning him to me, because we did talk and we did reach out to each other. So you talk about this black girl magic. I mean, that's just a imprint in my mind and my heart, because there would not be a race, I'm talking about for us as it relates to African Americans here, without the beautiful women that actually do all the work, and they have the babies, and they make sure that we are going to have strong black men, black women, etc. That we had to learn from our ancestors, and we had to learn from the folks that came before us that paid the price to make sure that we are able to do the things and we're able to get the education. We're able to just make sure that we continue to bring forth, teach, educate, and enlighten the African American community. So I thank you for that. I thank you for that. Yeah. So I want to kind of go back to labels, what we talked about, because you refuse to be labeled by anybody or become a statistic. Can you tell our viewers and our listeners a little bit why that was so embedded in you and why that keeps you being the strong person that you are today?
Well, it actually came from me being on the app Clubhouse. One day I was on there and it was a discussion room about being disabled. And someone asked me, how do I label myself? And, or what, no, they asked me, what do I call myself? And I said, well, I never thought about that. I don't call myself anything other than my name because my mother gave me a name. And they asked me, do I label myself? Do I call myself disabled, maladaptive, handicapable? It was several things. And I said, well, I don't label myself as any of those things. And then it was, well, was I embarrassed to be called disabled? And I said, no, if I were disabled, I wouldn't be embarrassed, but I'm not disabled. Now, if you choose to label yourself or decide that that's what you are, then that's fine. But anything that I want to do, I am able to do. So by whose standards? Because I truly believe if we are born for a purpose, then if we are living in our authentic selves, all of us don't have the same abilities. If we are made for God's purpose, He knows the exact purpose that He made us for. So being made for His purpose, He knows what He designed us for. We have those abilities based on what He designed us for in our lifetime. That's what we're supposed to do. How are we disabled? Are we living up to someone else's standards? Or are we living the purpose that we were put here to live?
Wow. You are a strong advocate. We talked about that one a minute ago. Strong proponent of patient advocacy and education. And you also stated that you believe that every patient should advocate for themselves.
Absolutely.
And can you tell our viewers and our listeners a little bit more about that? Because I think that's important.
Absolutely. Well, it goes both ways because I sit on both sides of the fence. So we always want the best out of our medical professionals, and we should get the best care. So what I always tell people is this: the best thing that you can do is be the best you that you can be. Bring the best patient to that provider, doctor, nurse practitioner, masseuse, whoever you're going to see. Bring that person the best patient that they can have. And then when you bring them the best patient, then you demand the best care that you're supposed to get from that provider. You can't say, well, this person is supposed to do this. Well, they're basing their care off of what they know to do for that particular thing. Wow. So if it's a team effort, and why not be the best you that you can be? If it's a team effort, you should know the most about you. It should be nothing that anybody can tell you about you.
Wow. We're going to take a station break, but that is so true.
Yes.
It's so true. But we're going to come back.
Okay.
And we're going to talk a little bit more about, we're going to go off into You're hosting the internet radio. We're going to talk a little bit about the books that you've been co-authors in, and we're going to talk a little bit more about Dr. Saprina Allison. You want to be part of the conversation? That's 1-888-344-1170. Or you can also go to the comments. It's your life. I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooper.
There's more stories of greatness to help you overcome adversity coming up on It's Your Life with James Cooley. The J.C. Cooley Foundation is a nonprofit organization that was started.
Noah Dingley here, producer of The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And the new audio version of James' book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, is a must-have. James shares his true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. Get the new audio version of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James Cooley on Amazon.com or wherever audiobooks are sold.
Hello. Hey, I'm James Cooley. I am the founder and CEO of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, Options, Opportunities, / Choice Program. Our primary mission is to help build a foundation of our youth and young adults and communities. And we encourage everyone to dream big, think big, and be big at everything you do. And the way that you do that is, first of all, you got to believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. You have to know that you are here for a purpose. You also have to be able to step out your comfort zone and do things that you probably didn't think that you can do. Hello, welcome back to It's Your Life. I'm James Cooley, and I tell you, we got this absolutely fantastic guest that is really bringing it. And I'm telling you, she's putting it down. So inspiring that, I just, it's just extraordinary how she is explaining her story. And I just want to jump right back into this because she's doing so many things out there. And she is battling this challenge that she's having with this Chiari. But you know what? If you look at her, her head is up. She's a queen. She's doing it. And she's not letting this get to her. And you cannot let things get to you either. You have to be strong. You have to be an advocate of yourself. And you have to know that you can. You have to know that you can. So I tell you, just like I said, if you want to be part of this great conversation, I'm going to tell you this last segment. We only got 10 minutes, but you can still be part of this. That's 1-888-344-1170. Or go to the comments on whether you're watching it on LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, wherever that you watch it, Facebook. Be a part of this. Be a part of the conversation. Supreme. Now you're doing all of these great things. You do this inspirational radio show every day. K-Bob, KBOB. You know, tell our viewers and our listeners a little bit about that.
And you know what? Actually, it was something that came to me because I didn't know that I had a radio voice. And the funny thing is, I heard you mention LinkedIn, and everyone keeps saying, you need to get a LinkedIn page. You need to get a LinkedIn page. And I'm like, yeah, no. Social media, okay. But it's so funny because so many people that I work with always ask me, do I have a LinkedIn page? And I tell them no. because I tell them my work life is my work life, my home life is my home life. So a lot of people that I work with have no idea who I really am outside of work, because they see me as a nurse. And it's funny because one of my friends who also has her doctorate, she said to me the other day, she said, I bet people really don't know what to do with you now. And I said, if they only knew who I really was, they probably they probably wouldn't know. But yeah, so radio was something that came to me. I had no idea that I had a radio voice, because part of my Chiari Malformation, I sometimes stutter. So I didn't think that I had a voice to speak. I love to write. I've been writing since I was 9, and I can write anything from any idea. Never thought of speaking, because it just wasn't something that I wanted to do. And I tell people all the time, as comfortable as I may look in front of a camera or in front of a crowd, speaking is not one of the easiest things for me. Writing is. So I had a friend that started at the radio station and just said to me, say this and record it and send it back on your AVR. And I didn't even know what an AVR recorder was. And I did it and I sent it back. And it just went from there. And I do the spiritual appetizer every day on WBOB radio, 12 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Eastern, daily, Monday through Friday. And I've done it for a year now. And I just do it as an encouraging word every day to get you back to, until you get back to your place of worship on Sunday, just to have something to hold you over.
Well, let me tell you, not only do you have a radio voice, you got a television voice as well, extraordinary voice. And what goes along with that is the attitude. I mean, attitude means so much, I believe, in anything that you do, in believing in yourself like you do. I can just see, it's radiating from you, that self-confidence in you. Only thing a person have to do is identify, like, hey, I think that you might have this. You said, what? Then the next thing you know, it hits you. Oh, I can do this. I can do this. And you can, and you do it well. Let's talk about the book that you co-authored.
Yes.
That's, I looked that up. Can you tell our listeners a little bit about that one? Tell me about chapter 6 in particular. I want to know about it. They want to know about it. We want to know about it.
Okay. So the book, that it's a book anthology that I'm a part of, and it's called Her Story, Our Story, Different Faces, Same Trauma. And my chapter is chapter 6. I'll lay down, but I will never bow down. One of our colleagues, Dr. Stephanie Wall, came up with the concept of the book, and she's one of my dear friends and mentor. And, you always have that girlfriend in your girlfriend tribe that has an assignment for everybody. So, we're used to Stephanie having books for us to read, because she's always reading at least 3 books at one time. So, we're used to it. This time when she called me, it was kind of sort of like, we're writing a book. And I thought I was ghostwriting the book. I did not think that I was actually a co-author in the book. So my chapter 6, I'll lay down, but I will never bow down. I talked a little bit about my journey, with the beginning part of my journey with Chiari Malformation. And I got that title because I will lay down and relax in God's arms to get rest, but I will bow down to nothing because I know I don't have to.
Wow. You got run across. He's saying, proud of you, Dr. Saprina, Allison.
Oh my goodness.
I know firsthand your challenges, and you never
you,
cease to amaze me. Do you want to address or run across him?
JC. Well, you know what? Well, thank you. I absolutely do. Thank you so much, honey. I appreciate you. I appreciate everything that you do. Yes, you do know my challenges firsthand, and you have not run from one. We've done it all together, and I definitely could not have done this by myself.
And we have to have somebody in our corner that understands the struggles.
Yes.
That can see it when other people cannot.
Yes.
And say, I got you. I got you. We in this together.
Yes.
And I can tell you, and you've been talking to my beautiful wife, Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
She is one of those people that
Yes.
she got me through whatever challenges, whatever situations, circumstances that we might be having. I'm talking about me from a medical perspective or whatever that might be. You got to have that village that you talked about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You talked about the village.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have that support team. So run across. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
But you know what, JC, I thought I would never tell this story, but I'm gonna tell this story this one time because it is hilarious. So when I was first diagnosed, I used to fall a lot because my I was so unstable, right? My balance was so off. So this one night, I actually fell and I was on the floor and I was saying, Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy. Oh, Jesus, Lord have mercy. And I was down there for quite some time and I was wondering why I wasn't getting any help. Somebody thought I was down there praying all that time. So they never looked to make sure that I was okay because they heard me calling Jesus. So they just figured they was going to let me, they figured they was going to let Jesus work that one out because all they heard was, oh, Lord, oh, Jesus. So they thought I was okay. That was the only time I was ever left.
You know what? We're down to the last 90 seconds of the show, but this is so extraordinary, Dr. Saprina. I gotta have you back. I got to. We got to talk more about this. Can we do it?
Absolutely.
Okay, so 30 seconds or less. What takeaways, if you can get them in real fast, that you want our viewers and our listeners to get from this great conversation that I'm having with you?
I absolutely can do it in 30 seconds or less. The mantra that I live by: run hard, dream big, and create a legacy. Very easy.
Wow, how can people get in touch with you if they want to find more about Dr. Saprina, Allison, and they want to engage with you?
I am on Facebook and Instagram under my name, Saprina Allison, because I don't know how to be anybody else. That's it, just my name, or can email me at saprina412@gmail.com.
Well, I want to thank you for taking the time to come on the show. I want to thank our listeners. I want to thank everybody. I would like to thank my beautiful wife for making sure she set all these things up. But remember, we're always looking for sponsors so we can continue to bring great message, great people like Dr. Saprina Allison to you. I tell you, we got to take away a little bit right now, but we'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. It's your life. I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley. You amazing. I will talk to you later.
Thanks for joining us.
Dr. Allison.
Yes, sir.
Hey, we still rolling now. So we still rolling on TV and LinkedIn and YouTube and all of that stuff. We just ended the radio.
Okay.
Okay, so let's get back to the takeaways.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about that again. Any takeaways that you want our viewers and our listeners to get from this great message? And you know what? I think it was incredible myself. I'm just going to be honest with you. And our classmates out there that, oh, yeah, we're going to get Saprina, we're going to get some of them on the show. What you think?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. The biggest takeaway I would say is this: never allow anything or anyone to define you. You seek your purpose and live in your purpose. Just because you may have a diagnosis are words on a piece of paper. You get to decide what you do with that. I may not look like the disorder that I have, but I have it. I give it the attention that it needs when it needs it. And then I move forward because I choose not to live in that constantly. And as I said before on a panel, one of the misconceptions of looking at someone with any type of disorder, looking from the outside in, is automatically what I can't do, what I don't bring, what I may not have. Don't be fooled by those letters on that piece of paper, because as a person, I'm still going to bring my A game. Don't let that diagnosis fool you out of a good person, because I'm going to compete at a high level. And as my friend told me, my job has no clue who I really am. They don't. They don't. They have no clue of what I bring to the table, because I don't bring anything to the table. I am the table.
I love that. And I knew you was going there because you are the table.
I am.
And you are the queen. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We got to talk. We got to continue to talk. We got to continue to communicate.
Absolutely.
We got to continue to do this. I want to thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Being on the show. And I look forward to working with you a lot more. And a lot of other classmates that we're doing. This was an absolutely fantastic show. I tell you, I want to leave everybody with this message. Not only do you have to have a big heart, you have to understand your purpose. Mm-hmm. You have to believe that you can. Again, you can do anything you set your mind to. Always dream big, think big,
that's right,
and be big at everything you do. Until tomorrow, I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley. We'll see you on the road again. It's your life. I'm James Cooley.